right, first and foremost, we give all praise to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
the ones that apostles, great millstone that rule well. Shalom, peoples in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely, faithfully, and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, we're all found in that number to be delivered. Until then, we're going to come out and keep pushing the word, fulfilling the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. All right, so again, we're going to go through this through the spirit. The brothers got articles, testimony, any brothers we got, we're going to just let it all out. All right, so the brother going to start with the article?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, last week we talked about this, the Silicon Valley banks. This time
Oh, the banks? The bank? Go ahead.
Now it's more big that's getting shut down. And that's from the newsbreak.com. And the headline said this: more than 186 US bank well positioned for collapse.
Listen, we understand what's going on here. This isn't just some, spooky thing that what's happening. This is what's called for. That's right. Esau has already counted the cost many years ago, leading up to these days where we're living in, where things are going to start to collapse. They have to collapse it. There's no way they can introduce that new method of currency without getting rid of the old currency. So it has to be collapsed, man. But we're not worried about that. We're not in fear of that. We welcome it. Why do we welcome it? Because we know we're that much closer to getting the hell out of here, man. But behold, there's going to be some terrible times that are coming, man. Go ahead.
And he says the perfect mix of losses, uninsured leverage, and an extensive loan portfolio, among other factors, resulted in the fall of Silicon Valley banks. Comparing Silicon Valley Bank situation with other players, we feel that nearly 190 banks operating in the United States or are potentially at risk of a run.
They're all at risk, if you want to call it a risk. They're all at risk because, again, you're settling on your leads because you're hearing these people who have a stake in some of these banks. When they start hitting home, then you're gonna start realizing. Then you're gonna seek out the prophets. Then you want to ask questions. What's going on? Why is this happening? All right. And we're gonna continue to tell you until it implodes on itself. And Esau's gonna make it implode on itself. You guys think that this government is for you? This government is not for you, man. This government is totally against you and everything you believe in. How is it that here, United States of America is now talking about the banking system collapsing on itself? That should be unheard of. These other countries hear shit like this, they're like, that's impossible. How can that be? America's the so-called greatest country in the world. How can the greatest country in the world have be on thin ice, if you will? Because it's all bullshit. It's all set up, man. America's gonna fall by the sword at the end of the day. All right? And these things and these measures that are being taken right now are being taken for good reason. All right, go ahead.
This is second.
Hey, if any brothers got anything, want to speak up, yeah, let's fire it off. Come on.
This is second Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown.
Right, you know what? Because listen, in 2008 when that small collapse happened, there was people going to the bank. It was total chaos, man.
Trying to draw that money out.
It was a mini chaotic situation. Yep. But now that it's happening on a grand scale, there's not going to be any understanding in a man when that time comes. Okay, so the sown places, what you see right now, is sown because you look around, people walking about, visiting different monuments and having a good time and enjoying the summer breeze, the winter breeze coming through. But when this place becomes unsown, you ain't gonna see a soul in these parks out here, man. Because people are gonna be out for blood when that time comes.
That's right.
Go ahead.
The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
In those, and I'll say this, in this carnal world, those who are somewhat wise, they're already preparing, man. They've been stocking up on food. They've been stocking up on goods. Because they understand and they see and read between the lines that America's going down, man. That's right, man. There's going to be a big shift. There's going to be a big change within the next couple months. How you buy things, how you see things, how you perceive things, how you get things. Some people are going to get it by the fact that they're going to receive that MOTB. Some people want to get it by taking somebody's life. All right? But at the end of the day, something's going to be obtained by somebody somewhere or another. See? Go ahead.
Real quick. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 See then that ye walk circumspectly,
Right.
not as fools, but as wise,
That's right.
redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Right, walking circumspectly, knowing what's going on around you at all times, which is imperative, man. It's imperative that you understand and know what you're getting into, and even just not even taking it from a standpoint of buying shit or obtaining goods, just where you're walking, just where you're going, because niggas are gonna be lurking in the shadows out here, man. All right, but this is all part of prophecy. You see, this is part of prophecy. You know, and you got these guys out here, all these guys with all these different YouTube channels, and they're having a grand old time, on the backs of the brothers who are out on the highways and byways and teaching, and they're talking enough shit. Well, pretty soon your platform's gonna be gone. All right, and when your platform goes, then you have nothing. But we of the hope of the elect, we got Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai to guide us and protect us and watch over us. So we're gonna come out as men of the Lord and give you exactly what you've been looking for. Go ahead.
I got you. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein,
Yep.
for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh."
Right, and nobody's gonna believe it until it comes to their front door, man. There was a movie called At Your Door. All hell was breaking loose and it was coming right to people's door, man. Even though you weren't a part of that section or whatever, but the trouble came right to your door because you couldn't leave your house.
That's right.
If you can't leave your house, that means the trouble is at your door. When somebody's on the other end of your door, knocking and banging like a fucking madman, you ain't opening the door. Likewise, when it comes time to leave out your house, what you gonna do? You gonna go to the window first, look out the window and see what's going on out there. Let you see a dead body in front of your driveway, in front of your door, your building. You gonna open that? You ain't opening that goddamn door. So these things are coming right to your doorstep and you don't even realize it, man. You people have no idea what you're in for. Go ahead.
And one people shall stand up and fight against another,
Yep.
and swords in their hands.
Those race riots are on the horizon. Now the brothers was telling me about a man, was in Texas or Mississippi. No, I didn't catch the article yet, but I guess a man got decapitated and his head peeled off, and body parts strewn all over the place. Again, these are some of the precursors that are going to eventually lead to the racial wars, the insurrection of people, all right, the division of people. These things must needs be done, because how else are you going to get the children of Israel started, if you will? How else are you going to rise them up, man? Let a few more black people get killed to the point where people are gonna be like, yo, fuck that, we going after these white people. We going after whomever they may feel they may need to go after, man. So it's no surprise what's going on, man. We're not looking at these things. We read these articles and see these different news clippings and look at and hear what's happening. Ain't no surprise that nigga got his head cut off. That's what's gonna happen. These are the things that have to take place, man. These are the things that's gonna rile the people up. What else is gonna rile people? You can't say, oh yeah, let's say a bunch of crackers making a record down in rap music. That's not gonna rile people up. You got to get down to the meat and potatoes if you want to get some people stirred up, man. And how you do that? Start killing motherfuckers. You start killing them, then people gonna start, whoa, what's going on here? You see? All right, hold on, go ahead.
Elderman, to back you up, when you read the comments, you have people bringing up the whole Emmett Till spirit once again, and they're saying that men with guns should go down to Mississippi and the whole town. Yeah.
I mean, once again, the carnal men are gonna do such things. Don't think that you ain't gonna have these things happening. Right. You're gonna have a whole bunch of niggas rising up, marching down in different locations with guns and having a gunfight. All right? But the wise in the Lord are gonna let that be, man. We ain't gonna get caught up as we always have been. We've always have been, on the backside of things, if you will. While all these people are protesting, marching, you got the men of the purple and gold, group there. Every time a nigga gets shot, they rallying up and doing all this, and the mothers in the middle talking, my baby. You men aren't going to do anything that's going to change the outcome of what the Lord put in place, man. If a nigga get killed in the street, whether he be 18 or 28 or 38 or 48, or however old he is, if he gets killed in the street, then that's what the purpose was, for him to be brought up in the world, to be raised up, to be killed in that street in that day, man. This is the Lord's program. So we ain't gonna start crying tears over how many black people gets mowed down by the police. We ain't gonna cry tears how many black people hung and lynched and dragged by the back of a goddamn Ford F-150 pickup truck down in Texas or Mississippi. This shit's been going on for years. What makes it any different now in this day and age? It ain't no different, you see? But you gotta be circumspect. You gotta know what's going on around you. You can't put yourself in a position where you're gonna sit there and these crackers surrounding you and shit on a daily basis. Get the hell out of Dodge, man. It don't, yo, listen, man. It don't make you any less of a man if you gotta flee. The Lord had to flee in some cases, man. So
At his
shit,
birth.
get the
At
hell
his
out.
birth, he
Right.
had to flee.
Get the hell out of Dodge, man. You see these crackers assembling with all kinds of Confederate flags. Yeah, nigga. Get the hell out of Dodge. All right, see y'all later. You know?
It's a such thing as a sun downtown too.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished watching the videos that one of the brothers had put up. But Jake got his ass whipped in one of them sun downtowns.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, don't come to these places, man. Be real. Yeah, that's been around since what's that? The 60s or late 60s. He ain't win.
Yeah, you
He
want
going
to
to that
test yourself?
place? Yeah.
Talking about Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that shit don't, man. That
his
shit got
ass
niggas.
whooped. He
Like,
got
nigga,
fucking
that shit
scars
got
all
niggas
over
twisted
his
up,
face,
man.
everything.
That whole Black Lives Matter thing got niggas twisted up. You thinking you can walk around invincible?
Yeah.
You know, with a BLM on your chest. That shit don't matter, man. Time is coming where there's gonna be bloodshed. It's gonna be the bloodshed of the children of Israel, because the scriptures speak about a time of Jacob's trouble. All right, let's go.
Yeah, so if I could say something, Elder, this is why it's important to know who your enemies are.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking about the analogy I used to use. How you see, we're here in a park, right? You'll see, a group of squirrels together. You might see a group of pigeons together, but you never see them congregating with one another. And it's the same thing. You can use the example of they're all animals, so they should be together. But no, there's different strokes for different folk.
Different worlds of
That's
animals.
it. That's it. And same thing with people. We're a different nation than they are.
That's right.
Our nation does things differently than them, and the whole integration mentality is what's ruining people, man. You saying your Black Life Matters, it's not going to matter to your enemy. That's the last person your life matters to, is your enemy. Your life matters to the people that are of your stock, and that's who you should be worried about. You should be worried about your own people. Trying to say that you matter to someone who is your arch nemesis. It's like you look at Batman and Joker. Imagine they had kids and them two can't go together. Them two can't go together. He is our arch nemesis. When you watch that movie, I think the movie is Broken or Glass. I think it's called.
Yeah, Glass.
He said you
Called
can
Glass. Samuel L. Jackson's character broke that down. It's like, look, we are exact opposites. We'll never join together. I am your nemesis. And it's true, man. They are our arch nemesis. They were created just to be our nemesis. We can't expect to matter to them. They're our enemies.
Genesis
Uh,
25.
that's something
Yeah.
Luke, the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, he said between us there's a great Both said. That can't be passed.
Yep.
Into that,
I've got something real quick for you. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right. And a lot of people are putting their trust in these devils, man. You're putting your trust in them. And on top of that, you're also putting your trust in our own people. Because our own people become our enemies, man. Those who are in cahoots and that are living by this system. You know, we got black people who are protesting the stance that we take, man. We got black people come up against what we believe in. You know? Again, it's going to be enemies from all angles. Watch out for that. Enemies from all angles coming in at us, man. And as the elder was getting into and the brothers has been talking about, Jacob and Esau, we've been fighting since the womb. We've been fighting since the womb. There's no other nation of people that have fought more vigorously towards one another than Jacob and Esau, man.
I'm trying to say some more.
Go ahead.
This is why you had Judas Maccabees fighting so vehemently.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just about. It was about, obviously, the story makes it apparent. It was about the Maccabees brothers' disdain with our people being so willing to go to the other nations and be a part of what they had going on, right? But just to think like the assimilation that they were doing in those times. When you think about the Black Greeks, right? You have all these fraternities that they have in colleges. That came from Israelite people. Those people back there that were being called Greeks in those times, or a lot of them were Israelites, man. And there was a lot of that was assimilating into what our enemies were doing, and their behavior, and being so proud about being a part of it. When you go into Maccabees and you read that, those were Israelites that was making those gymnasiums. Esau, they was fruit cups, but they was doing it in their own way. You had our own people making those gymnasiums to be a part of that lifestyle. You know, so it's always happened. It's always happened where you got people trying to assimilate with their enemy. You have to know who your enemy is. That's important. That's the first. We are, as it says, behind enemy lines. We're behind enemy lines, and you have to operate within it, right? We have to work. We have to pay our bills. Some people might, you get your, what they call it, it's tax season, right? So you gotta file for your taxes and all of those things. So we live within being behind these enemy lines, but you gotta know Esau is your enemy, man. He is not your friend. And just like that scripture that brother read, as soon as he has an opportunity to show that he's your enemy, he's gonna do it, man. He's gonna do it. There's no mistake in it. You can look at them, and like I had this one dude I used to work with my old job. I just talk just like that. I can't stand black people. I can't stand it. They talk just like that, man. And you look at him, he's cool. He was a cool dude. And the reason why you can be in front of him because he's honest. You don't have to guess about what he has going on. So you can look at him and see. There's other Edomites that he would pull aside and they'd be having their own conversation. You knew what they was talking about when they was off to the side, but those other Edomites were different, right? And you were waiting for the opportunity. You were waiting for the time where they were going to show their ass. Those are our enemies, you know? You got something?
Yeah, First Maccabees.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 25.
Yep.
Therefore there was a great mourning in Israel in every place where they were, so that the princes and the elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were feeble, and the beauty of the woman was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chambers was in heaviness.
Yeah, so it was a bad time our nation was going through. The Lord, this was really I can't say the start, but this is when the Lord turned his back on us, and we were really down and out as a nation, man. The Greeks were coming in, and they were doing their thing. You had Alexander had already done his damage, so to say, where he had taken over all the known world, and he had passed on, obviously, but his 4 generals kept that going, man. And then when you had this guy Antiochus, which if I'm not mistaken came from the Seleucid line, he perpetuated that thing to its extreme, man. So we were in hell in these times. Our nation was in hell in these times. You think about so-called transatlantic slave trade, American slavery. This rivals that, man. That those times that we were under the Greeks, that rivals.
And on top of that, when you read Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, it goes in how details of how, in order for our people to come from up under that bondage, they had to join just do as the king commanded at that time. Your life would have been made easy. So when Judas, right? But when Judas, was it not Judas? Was it Matthias? He saw this Jake going to the altar to worship, and he was filled with zeal, and he went up and slew him on the altar right there on the spot, man. Because our people at this time, when all hell starts breaking loose, they're going to have one solution: do exactly what Esau says, and that way you won't have that heaviness upon you, man. But when the Lord sets us up, when we see niggas doing some shit like that, we don't have to do what we got to do, man.
It's a saying that they got here in Babylon the Great: "Do as the Romans."
Yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Yeah. But we have examples of escape from that in Daniel. We have examples of escape from that in Joseph, right? And who said Esther, right? Mordecai, right? You have examples of how to behave yourself behind enemy lines. You don't have to assimilate to what they do in order to be successful, because the real success comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But let's keep
the
going.
Maccabees too.
Huh?
Maccabees,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. Those are all examples of how to behave yourself when you're behind enemy lines. When you're at your lowest, the best thing to do is to depend on the Heavenly Father. Don't go, assimilate to what the enemies is doing. This is where the old saying, death before dishonor, that's what you take, man. And the Maccabees brothers are perfect examples of that. We have the story of those 7 brothers in 2nd Maccabees. If the Lord permits, we'll get to that. But you take death before you take dishonor.
Yeah, that was the spirit. That's why I brought it, because I was thinking about how even when the king was killing off all the sons, and he was asking the mom, like, yo, just tell your son to agree, he'll be a friend. And then he still died honorably.
Yeah, and what's impressive about that, right? When you think about when you think about a mother is she's always concerned about her child's well-being, and she raises the child in a way where if the child is out of her care, that he'll be okay. I can make sure that he's going to be all right. And really, mothers, I read this book years ago when I was in high school, but it talked about how when the buck would get killed in slavery, the big, strong, so-called black man would get killed in slavery, the mothers would see that and raise their sons to not be like the buck. So when you look at a story like those 7 brothers and their mother, telling them, no, you go and die manfully, that's a powerful story, because mothers are the main ones that make their sons capitulate to what their enemy is doing. So that's a powerful story, man. Keep going, Salaki, brother.
This is back in first Maccabees 1:28.
Oh,
The land also was moved with the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Yep.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judea.
This is what Esau does, right? We know this. When Esau goes in, and this brother Bonner Ward was telling us some history about Haiti. After he went in there and got a hold and a grasp on that rice, and they went down and out, they started getting poor. What did Esau do? He went down in there. Same thing the Antiochus did here. After 2 years expired, that's when all them Greeks started going in there. They started taking our land. They started taking our riches. Like when you think of the temple in that time, the temple was not only a place where you go and pray and sacrifice, but it was also the bank, right? That's where a lot of the riches and gold and silver. That's right. So it was also the Bank of Israel. You can call it. Go ahead.
And if I may add, though, the Book of Torah tells you how it was basically a bank for like the fatherless children and the widows as well. And he had gave his riches after he had died too.
Yep. That's it. Keep going, bro.
After 2 years, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judea, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Yep.
And they spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For they, when they had given them,
Esau recently went down to Haiti, talking about they was down there to give aid. No, they was down there to take. They speak peaceably. The scriptures tell us about that in Psalms. If somebody go to what's that? Psalms? Is it 51?
I still got it in Ecclesiastes when I was reading earlier.
Yep. We can get all of it. We got time.
Okay. You want that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into the
That's
pit.
it, man. Get in there.
Hey, come on, buddy. I'm just here to help.
Yeah. Next thing you know, he's in your backyard. Your backyard. In your house. You wake up in the morning, you saw downstairs eating your cornflakes.
Psalm 55:21.
That's it.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
That's
The
it.
war was in his heart.
War was in his heart.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Right. So we know this about Esau, man. So when you hear this about what they did with the Greeks, of course they went in and speaking peaceable words. Esau doesn't know any other way. Alexander was the first Edomite of his kind, because Alexander was like, look, I'm trying to take over, and I'm going to do it by any means necessary. But when you have Edom, what they did was they went and they kind of worked their way through history secretly, kind of make their way up in, like Haman did, make his way up into the ranks, and then they take over, right? And so this is what the Edomites do, man. They go in there, hey, how's it going, sir? You all right? You need a couple dollars? You like, yeah, I can use a couple dollars. You get hungry. At first you say no. What the fuck this nigga want, man? Right? At first, and you get a little hungry. You say, you know, I should have took that $2 that you saw was getting ready to give me. And then he got your ass, man. You know? Go ahead, bro. Salaki.
Yeah.
Salaki. You got something too?
Yeah. Just to back you, Psalms 55 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
It says, wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For if it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him.
See? And so this is why it's important, especially today, where we're so far removed from biblical history. We're so far removed from our heritage. For so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, so-called native people here in the Americas to understand who our enemy is, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man.
That's it.
Neither keep it at home,
Yep.
who enlarges his desire as hell,
Yep.
and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Cannot be satisfied. Now I made the mistake. I went into this this little corner store. I was trying to find a you know those incense holders. Mm-hmm. So I went in there, and Elam, it's an Elamite store, and I went in there. Oh, hey, y'all doing it here? He was looking at me just like this, and I was so mad at myself because I know better. But I went in there all, you know, hey, how's it going, man? All happy, but he kept his he stayed on his square. You know, that we are different nations. We're not brothers. We're not friends. Mm-hmm. And I was so mad at myself for allowing that to happen, man. But the other nations, they keep their
Who's the silly guy? Silly guy.
100%, man. 100%. I got in that car, man. I was like, God damn it! I let that motherfucker get the best of me, man. I was so mad at myself for that, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, hurry up and buy. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You walked out.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I was mad, man. Yeah.
Back?
Yeah.
This is back in First Maccabees. And spoke peaceable words unto them, but it was all deceit. For when he had given them credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people in Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls.
When he get everything he need, he destroys everything else, man. He destroys everything else, and this is you have to know these things. Yeah. If you are, especially today, again, like I said, being so far removed from our history, we don't even know who's who, man. We don't know who's who.
If I may add, there's a whole saying in the world that said, if you don't learn from history, you're bound to repeat it.
Yeah.
If you look at this man's track record and you don't see that it's a repeated offender, and you don't learn from it, when you get fooled again, that's on you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes to show you, you got Jakes out here talking about we need to build this and build that. Again, Tulsa, Oklahoma says it all.
Yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, you decide you want to get your own community and build this. These devils are going. This is the scripture says the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. This is all their shit. They own all this. They're gonna let you build it, but you have to pay every ounce of tax and tribute to them devils. And let you start to get bigger and better than them devils. That's when it's gonna get burnt down.
That was the importance for them taking away our heritage, like removing us from the scriptures, because the scriptures gives us all that. It gives us the history book that we know that is ours. A lot of the average so-called black men in America, they think their history goes back to the 1600s. They don't trace their history back to Kemet or it's all recent. They don't understand how ancient people are, but not just that, the stories, the beefs that we have between these certain nations and how that all ties in today.
But it only goes as far back as Martin Luther King, for example, right? Mm-hmm. You got the month of February called Black History Month. Mm-hmm. You got Black History Month. Ain't not a damn one of anybody go back to the scriptures or the Bible saying that these great men of the Bible They don't even include the Bible in Black History Month because that's not your people according to Esau in this country, in this system. But they got, what's that?
Malcolm
What's
X.
that? What's the dude, the guy who did peanut butter.
George Washington Carver.
They'll give you him.
These students, man.
Plus, you know. But again, they go back to certain, 1940s maybe coming up. But other than that, you don't see nothing about Black history, man. And that's another bullshit, month anyway.
When they take away our heritage,
Black
man,
monkey
that's like taking away a lot of our power, man. A lot of our faith. Because you read those stories of King David jumping over walls and stuff like that. And how is the Heavenly Father supposed to deal with you on that level if you can't even believe? So you got guys, like, you know what I mean? Imagine all hell breaking loose and it's not even a big wall like King David, but just, a fence, like a good fence, like
6 foot fence.
Yeah, that man, in that day, man, you're just the allowance of you allowing that to get inside you. You jumping over that 6 foot fence is not a problem. It's not a big issue. But if you don't believe in these things and the scriptures and in the stories and the people that depending on Yahweh Shai, if you don't depending on the Lord, if you don't believe it, like, what are you to do? You have nothing to grasp. You're not rooted in anything. You have no understanding in anything.
I've given you these earthly things, right? You didn't understand them. How would you understand the spiritual things? Right? It's in the same vein. How can you expect the Lord to deal with you on a spiritual level? You can't even understand what the scriptures are saying.
You don't even believe. You don't even allow that to enter into your mind, your temple. You don't give it space for anything.
And going back to the faith aspect is like our people don't even realize, like you talk about, like, who we are. Like, when you try to tell them, like, who we are and things like that, even when it comes to something simple like when you go into the Black Inventors, our people be like, what, we made that?
Yeah.
Because the man, they gave us an inferiority complex, man. It's like we just...
Yeah, and another thing Esau does is he'll say, like, this person was the first such and such, the first Black person. You know how degrading it is for these people to tell you that this man was the first person to do such a thing, and this is the 1600s? Or he had this one guy that was like, he came up to the camp and he's like, you're Portuguese. I think it was at work. I was at work. He was, because where we work at down the South Coast, there's a bunch of Portuguese. And he's like, I was here and at work. Whatever it was, he was like, Portuguese are the first navigators. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, what the hell was Noah? Before you devils even left Europe, Noah was on a boat navigating these doves and you know what I'm saying? So they try to take their history and make it everything, and they just want you to forget about the past, like we wasn't on boats traveling back and forth before you devils was doing
God was here already. How did God discover the U.S., the whole continental U.S.?
Well, when you're on an island, you got to the island somehow. You know what I'm saying? So so what you would call the Tainos or the Awanaks, they wasn't just on those islands just stranded, stuck. They were traveling, doing trade amongst, their people, man. But Esau have you believe that the history starts from there. I went to Renaissance school. The history started from Esau, man. Everybody else was just porch monkeys and the fucking jungle, whether it was Gad or him or everybody was just in a jungle. And Esau had this elaborate life over in Europe and had to come bring civilization to everybody, to the world.
Reminds me, I had a little chat with this Edomite. So he was very proud about saying, what is Black culture? And I said, I don't know, you tell me. He's like, well, because that's a very good question. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I said, well, let's start with white culture. What is white culture? He's like, we one of the greatest people. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. You mean white culture? You rob, you steal, you rob continents, you do this, and he started getting all kind of mad. I said, I'm just saying the truth. If you want to tell me Black culture right now to shoot him up, gang, I have to agree with you. Yeah, for the time being, right? Because. But the main perpetrators of that, who started that was you.
He said we were crabs in the barrel. But the question is, why the fuck are the crabs doing in the barrel in the first place? Who put them in the environment for them to fail, for them to step on each other? Esau set this up. But go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 1:6. It says, from the sole of the foot even onto the head, there is no sound.
You might as well start up. Start at 1.
This is Isaiah 1:6, meaning 1 from 1.
1 and 1.
Yeah. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos,
which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Oz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know. My people do not consider.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like once you know that, damn, Elder was talking about this last week. Like, damn, I'm a Yashala. I'm a son of Jacob. You know, I could do this. You know, I'm from the tribe of Levi, from the tribe of Ephraim, or whatever. I can do this. It gives you more confidence. It gives you more faith. It gives you a higher ability. Your ceiling is high because what they do in Babylon is they make your ceiling low. They give you an artificial ceiling, and you can't. What you strive for is that saying, I reach for the moon, if you miss, you still amongst the stars. There's some truth to that. But they want you just to strive for the bare minimum.
Yeah, they put you
They put you in a
drop
box.
ceiling.
Yeah.
The real ceiling, they got the drop ceiling.
Right.
Even add on to your point, Jacob wrestled an angel. You
Right.
know? So hey
Right.
man, that's power that's there that
That's
our
how he
people
got his
don't even
name.
know that he
Right.
has.
Right.
Yeah.
Yashala, the Prince of Power. Yep. Jacob's name was turned to Israel. Yep. Go ahead.
Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity,
Yep.
a seed of evil doers.
Well, hey, we was talking about that movie Juice when he was like, he just basically was like Tupac was like, I ain't shit, I ain't never gonna be shit, and his whole mentality was, yeah. When I said once I decided, why you get to keep the gun, because I got it. But that's Jacob's mentality, man.
Yeah.
They don't understand that black culture, cops, bad boys, you know what I'm saying? Boys in the hood, just all these, just being pumped full of negative energy,
Propaganda.
you know, propaganda. You start to believe it, man. After a while, you just start to believe it. Go ahead, bro.
Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord.
Yeah.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel.
And corruption goes back to iniquity, which is basically a sin. The original corruption is just breaking the law, just sinners. You know, they've corrupted to the point where they think that sinning is the way. So selling drugs to your people, that guy China Mac, right? He did the interview and he said, you know, I wasn't selling drugs to my people. You know, I'll go to the hoods and stuff like that. See, it was okay for him to go to our community, quote unquote, and sell drugs, but he understood that wasn't the right thing to do in his community. But this is the mind frame of our people. Our people think that it's cool to sell drugs. I'm a drug dealer, I'm a gangbanger, I'm a killer, I'm a robber, but you're doing that to your own nation.
You're corny if you don't do
Yeah. So you made that cool, you know. But other nations, like you said, Elder, when you walk in the store, that Elamite knew it was a difference. They don't give a fuck about no skin color. They'll be as darker than your ass. You know, they don't care. Once you walk in that store, you feel that tension. That vibe is there. They hate us. And once you don't know that, you let your guard down, you're confused. And when you look at Jake is confused out here. Everybody knows it's a team. Everybody know that, look, these are my people. I stick with my people. I help my people, right? If I get a store, I'm going to hire my people because I'm going to feed my people, right? But our people, we've shunned away from that. And we were the main nation that operated like that.
Yeah.
That the laws is what separated us from everybody else. Yep. Our togetherness, our brotherhood. That's why they always hated us. They always hated us just because of that.
One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backwards. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick.
We all deal with this. The relationship of between Yashar and the Heavenly Father is one of, you know, you with your children, like what's it called, a microcosm, or just something small. Everything in the universe is something small that starts with atoms and neutrons, and it just expands to something. But the cycle is the same cycle, the same. Why should you beat the hell out of my son? He won't listen. He's gonna do the same thing over and over again. It's a time where it gets abuse. It just abuse. You just gotta wait it out. That's what the Heavenly Father. He's beating the hell out of us. This is our last go around. You know, there's only so much you could beat your child, you know, till it becomes pointless.
Yeah, to back you real quick from the comment board.
You will revolt more. So now you're just a bad guy. I did something new to my son, you know what I'm saying, which I didn't do before, and because I waited so long, you know, when I finally did it to him, I'm appeared to be the bad guy. when all actuality, I should have been disciplining you like this a long time ago. But once you start to do something to them, it's like, why are you doing this now? You know, but it's the same thing, the same principle.
Even in the law, it says if you have a rebellious child, you basically bring him from the council, and eventually the Lord basically put him to death. That's why the Lord is bringing judgment on people, because they constantly are doing the same old bullshit, and now the Lord's like, yo, I'm done with that.
And one important thing is about that is that's in front of the congregation, so that other kids can learn what not to do. You know, and put fear, you know, throughout. Why, Dad? Why did he get stoned? What's he was acting up? But in this society, a killer doesn't get put to death. A killer, what first 40 he got 25 years for what? Just put his ass to death. He killed somebody for a stupid reason. Why does he deserve to live? Why is he a burden on the taxpayer? You want to save money, right? Why is he a burden on the taxpayer dollar? Just kill him.
It was a video of a stone cold killer getting out of jail. He said, I got put in jail for killing 2.
Oh yeah.
He said that's all they know about. But he said it's gonna be more because I'm gonna kill more.
Well, there's a remedy for him. It's death.
They should have put him to death.
Put it as to death. And we don't gotta give him health insurance in jail and pay for his bed and breathe hard. You don't gotta
worry about him no more. We can send him back to the spirit realm.
A parole board. You don't need all. That's all unnecessary.
Yeah, Ark, man, I got 2 from the Karma board real quick, each one. This is our GMS Spiritual Ark 144K, Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Sardis children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge.
Sardis is stupid. They don't know the Heavenly Father. You know the Heavenly Father by way of His laws. That's
why they don't put these dudes to death in these jails. These are the same cats they depend on. When they move somebody to one of these jails, they want them taken out. They send one of these dudes on. They're like the henchmen. You know, so there's a use for everybody, man. Everybody got a use. You know, we have righteousness. We look at put that nigga to death right away. But the wickedness of the world and the wickedness of the system, they'll put him in the jail, have him sit there looming around, and when they get somebody from somewhere like Epstein, all of a sudden they hang themselves in jail for, right? You know, they didn't hang themselves. They one of the henchmen on.
So I got a scripture, and they also use them for cheap labor too. Remember that goes back to the was it the 14th or 13th Amendment? That I can't remember.
No slavery unless you've committed a crime. Right.
Yeah.
After that, the emancipation of approximation, what you have, what was that? Angola. Angola. That was the biggest plantation in Louisiana. Right after, shortly after that, it turned to the biggest prison. So the helmets that they make in the military to the uniforms that they make at McDonald's, that's all made through prison labor. License plates, all made through prison labor. Concord Farms. When y'all go to the stores, y'all see the Concord milk and all that. That's all, juice, Concord juice. That's all Concord Farm up there in Concord of the jails that they go to. So it's a pre-release. So that's a good thing. They make it a good thing so that you go to Concord and they're happy, and you get in the system, you're happy to go to Concord Farm because you get to walk out a little bit, you know, you get to smoke a cigarette, you get to fucking, you know, but that's how they set it up, you know, just a house nigga. You're happy to get, you don't locked up 24 hours a day, you get to roam around, you know, get a little bit extra freedom. But that's how Esau sets it. Esau's he's a smart devil, man. He's a very intelligent, smart, cunning, wise, crafty devil. And if you think that he's dumb, you're sadly mistaken. You don't understand his intellect, man. His trickery runs deep. It runs deep, and the first mistake you'll make is thinking that he's a dummy.
Hey, that's how it is when you feed snakes. You know, the rat goes inside the cage. The rat it's like, why am I in here? He's not even paying attention to the snake because he doesn't see the snake because it's not moving. He doesn't strike. The snake leave him alone. And then all of a sudden, he starts walking around, get comfortable.
It's his cage.
And then, right against the window, he got that wrapped him up.
Same way, man, with the frogs in the pot. Yeah, the frogs in the pot.
Everybody in the system gets paid from the judges, the prosecutors, it's a whole racket, man.
COs, court officers, judges, parole officers.
And you got the record execs.
This is your middle to upper class that we're talking about. Lawyers, like they're not finna scrap this system because if it was a brand like a business, they'd be out of business because the business don't make sense. You can't tell me that a homeless man that stole, I don't know, from the store is worth 6 months of you gotta clean their clothes. You gotta feed them. You gotta pay for electricity. You gotta pay for dental, health care. You gotta pay for all that. You can't tell me that money adds up. It doesn't. And so much that the federal government gotta pay these states basically amounts of money for people that they lock up because they know if it was ran like a business, it wouldn't make sense.
What people don't realize is the child support money that they collect from people goes right to their retirement. So this is why they force you get that probate court and them judges. They force that child support. They want that child support like fucking a snake wants blood, man. Because that funds their retirement. So the more money they can put in the retirement bank, the better off they're gonna be.
You don't believe it? I have a testimony. One of my friends, you know, his woman put him on, went and called the court, said, you know, beat her up or whatever, put him on child support. Then they made up whatever. She went back and said, nah, I want her to take back the charges, da 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 da. You know what the court said to her? I said, no, once the system is involved, man, there's no going back because that goes into that racket. They want to expunge it. Now they just became an entity that they could just keep sucking up and sucking up.
At first you could withdraw, and then now you have, like, if you press charges, and they have something where the state can pick up the charges. Even though you don't pick up charges now, it's the state.
Yeah, like half the child support cases are the DOI going after you. It's not really that person, and then you have the arrears. So if you're late on your child support payment, they tack on like double, and you gotta ask yourself, why are they charging when they're not doing anything?
Well, there's actually there's a late fee and there's a arrear that you have to pay. So you gotta pay both. You have to pay. You get whammy 2 times.
You can owe $7,000 in child support, but with the fees and all this, you know, all this shit they tack on, you owe $14,000. You know, it's crazy.
And then the woman don't even get all of it. I think 66% go to the state, and then like the rest
goes
of
to
it
the retirement.
And it's unconstitutional. Like the state can't, according to your own law, you saw, like you're not supposed to be allowed to intrude in other people's business. It started off with military wives, men that would go to the military and they'll get put to death. It was like a funding that they've gotten because of that father was no longer out of the picture. From that, it mighty morphed into the system that you see now, which is totally just to break up families, man. Break up families.
Add a couple from the GMS Boston Common Board. This is our Judah the Prince, Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Then when you jump down to 21,
but just add to that real quick. Like you go look at your job, man. I look at, because I call myself trying to, you know what I mean, do my own little side work to stay away from it. And that was the thing that I wanted. I didn't want to go back to the plantation, if you will. But boy, was I mistaken, you know. The Heavenly Father had a different plan. But when I went back to that place, man, I'm looking at my people, and I'm like, man, only if y'all knew that y'all are some goddamn slaves, man. Y'all are like. What they had that quote, Harriet Tubman. I don't know how true it is, but the quote is a damn good quote. She said, because it's true. You could back it up with the scripture. She said, I freed hundreds of slaves. I could have freed thousands if only I could convince them that they were slaves. That statement holds true to this day. Here we are talking about our situation, but the average so-called black Native American Hispanic, they don't believe that they're slaves, man. They believe that they're, what are you talking about? They're gonna tell you about, you don't know about, you know, Martin Luther,
segregation and shit.
George Lincoln. I mean, not George. Abraham Lincoln. That was back in the day.
They all come in a different spirit. They all in the same spirit.
That was ancient, like, you know. That was so goddamn. It wasn't long ago, man. It wasn't that long ago. You know, it wasn't that long ago where you were literally in just chains, and they give you stuff like this. You can put the camera on there, so you could make good. You could feel good about yourself. You could feel good about Martin Luther King, and get all warm and fuzzy inside when you think of the movement that he wanted to do. It all rocks you to sleep.
Yeah, man, ain't no Jake over there.
This shit, I did that dude on the Terminator, the one, the dude, the liquid metal dude.
Oh yeah,
that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, man, ain't no Jake over there.
That's all. It's all photo. They're gonna put it on their Facebook, and in the bio they're gonna say Black Lives Matter. You know, don't give a fuck about it. Go ask them for some loan, some shekels.
They worship their founding fathers, man. I just saw a clip on TikTok of this Edomite coming out. She's like, did y'all know that George Washington, according to the few facts that that he had slaves, and according to his neighbors, he was one of the most ruthless slave owners that ever lived. And that's what the Edomites worship. They have a whole Washington Day. They have Columbus Day. They have
You got Washington Street, every hood.
and they know what they did. The Edomites said they know the history, man. So what do you think they think about us? You know?
And they on the
Well,
Mount
what it
Rushmore.
says in Habakkuk where it talks about shameful spewing.
Yeah, it should be on their glory.
Good.
Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
And this is why that gift has deterred a lot of our people from seeing the truth, man. Because they're getting that gift. The gift destroyeth the heart. When somebody comes to you with some type of purse or some type of something that, oh yeah, well, he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. But again, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They don't want to accept this knowledge because this knowledge doesn't add up with the ways of this world, man. That's right. The ways of this world is pure wickedness. But our people love to have it so, man. Go ahead.
From the Karma board again, it's Sirach 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sin is prudence.
That's right. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. And America's built off of wickedness because the earth was given unto the hand of the wicked. If it was given unto the hand of the wicked, they're going to promote wickedness, man. They're not going to promote righteousness. They're not about righteousness. Okay? They love to kill. They love to steal and do all types of abominable things. They love to put in unrighteous decrees. America's built off of unrighteous decrees, man.
Right.
Everything in this place is unrighteous. Every last decree that they put forward. Okay? We read Psalms 55. That tells you a lot about their unrighteousness, the decrees that they've done. All right? You know, Esau tells you that they acquired this land because they traded the land for fucking 2 pearls. They gave the Native Americans 2 beads of, some bullshit, man. Some real bullshit. What Gad knew at the time, you can't give the earth away. You can't give the solidity. It's not yours to give. You see? But this is what they tell you in their systems. What we got?
I got some real quick. Isaiah 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Right, and this is why a lot of people hate the Hebrew Israelites, because we're putting forth the light of the Lord, and people don't like to see the light. They like to hear the lies and deceit that's been taught and that's being taught in the world. You see? And being taught these lies and deceits, you don't want to have nothing to do with this righteousness. You want nothing to do with it. Can 2 walk together except they be agreed? So nobody's going to agree with what we're saying, because the truth hurts in here in Babylon. You know? And when the Lord finally comes down and starts opening up that can of whoop ass, then it's going to be known. It's going to be evidently clear who the wicked is. Go ahead.
Tobacco, going back to the Karma board, Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?
That's right. Who see it? That's why what's that? We got the science back. Don't worry about it. But we got all these elites who are behind the scenes. They get together in all these little secret, meeting houses, Jekyll Island. What is that goddamn owl over at
Moloch?
Bohemian Grove? Yeah, Bohemian Grove. See, these devils do a lot of wickedness behind the scenes, man. And then on top of that, they have all types of meetings where they pass laws and decrees where they don't even get the Congress involved or the government involved. They just push it in place, man. And they be like, oh, this happened overnight, and you got to abide by it. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret place, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Right. So we have been uncovering his secrets, man. As the book of Obadiah says, how is his hidden things sought up, man? Why are they being sought up? Because the Lord has set his men in the right place at the right time. Before the men of the Lord came out on the highways and byways, you didn't hear too much about Esau and the so-called white man and his wickedness, man. So much so, half these crackers don't even realize that they're the wicked, man. They don't even know they're the wicked. They don't even know that they're the ones the Bible speaks of. They're the descendants of those people. Go ahead.
They get so offended too when you start.
Of course they do.
I'd be like, dang. I'd be like, first of all, like I remember when I first came into the truth, this white dude called me the N-word. You know what I'm saying? So I started calling him the Edomite and stuff like that. And then I told him, I was like, man, this is why you against the wicked. He said, I'm wicked. He said, I know you ain't calling me wicked. All you do is shoot up people and sell drugs. Like it's so crazy how he flipped, like how Esau was able to put the spotlight on us and not him.
Right, but the brother was getting into it though. The thing is, Esau's so goddamn smart and cunning.
Yeah.
He has made it so that the name of Edom is no more to be known in the world.
Yeah.
You got people, the scholars, saying, "Oh, Esau's done away with. They've died back in the Roman Jewish wars. And, Herod was the last, known Edomite on the planet. I mean, again, you got to be a smart individual to push that. And this is why these crackers don't know that they're Edomites. Because they suppressed it. You go into a dictionary, right? You go into an older dictionary, let's say from the 60s and 70s. You can look up Jacob. It's going to give you all kinds of history on Jacob. Jacob, the 12 sons, and the history of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the front. You look up Esau, Jacob's brother. That's it. Why is that? Because these devils were so smart and cunning, they knew there's going to be a point in time where their true biblical nationality was going to be exposed. And now, if they can separate themselves from that name Edom, Esau, then it's going to be hard for the people to figure out that they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You see?
That's right. Real quick to go with how they say that Esau's done away with. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him.
Right. There's no end of all the people. So I know I read somewhere they were saying that Herod was the last known Edomite. So if Herod had a concubine somewhere, made up with her, and she fled somewhere, you know what? His seed is still preserved. That seed is still preserved. You see? But it makes no goddamn sense. But the devil is cunning. He's slick. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what to put out there, and he knows what exactly the people are gonna gravitate to. They ain't gonna gravitate to Esau. They're gonna gravitate to Jacob. And everybody wants to be an Israelite. You got the spiritual Israelites. You got the Israelites through the blood of Christ. Look at all these people that now become Israelites, but nobody knows about Edom. Nobody knows anything about Edom. We don't have it. But when the scriptures speak about binding them in bundles and burning them, that's a future prophecy right there. Obadiah is a future prophecy. When it speaks about binding them and putting them where in the scriptures can you read that Esau was burnt in bundles and put to death, man? You ain't gonna read that because it hasn't happened, because Esau had to be preserved for these last days, man. Right? Yeah.
Like everything that you read in scripture, such as the flood, Sodom and Gomorrah, there's memorials left behind that identify. Not taking place. There's nothing left behind to say Esau got burnt up.
You would see the field of Edom, where all the Edomites burnt. They would have something because these devils love to label everything that they go around. Everywhere you go, there's a label for something. This is the last stand of this man and that man. But we have no indicators on where the last Edomite was buried, or the last stronghold of the Edomites. If they have been destroyed. But we have sought out the things of Esau, Edom, and we know who you are. We put you on blast right now. Now the whole world knows that the Edomites are still on the planet Earth. They question themselves. Are we the Edomites? Am I a descendant of Edom? But they know they are, man. Some of the people come forward and tell that.
Exactly. Even in social media, you got Esau making video making saying that, man, all this time I never knew that I was an Edomite. Those guys was white. You hear that about on YouTube, TikToks, Instagram, Esau coming out, letting the world know that they're Edomite. Yeah.
Matter of fact, give me Obadiah. Start at 10. Start at 10.
This is Obadiah 1 in
start at 10.
10. And it reads, it says, for violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Now, who has committed all types of violence against Jacob? Edom, Esau. Now it says, shame shall cover thee. Now, we're talking about some future prophecy right here, because we can't find anywhere in the scriptures where the fulfillment of Jacob ruling over Esau has been fulfilled, where the fulfilling of Jacob having Esau in chains and as slaves has been fulfilled. Esau still reigning supreme on the planet, man. Go ahead.
And it says, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Right, Esau shall be cut off forever. These devils are still running around, man. The scholars know who they are. They know that they're Edomites. Go ahead.
It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces and his foreigners, and it says, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lot.
We was kind of having a discussion about some of the possessions of Israel that Esau has carried off, man. Just look at the Ark of Titus. The Ark of Titus is a prime example of how Esau carried off these goodly things that belonged unto our people. And they've done that continuously. Whenever a power structure fell, what they do? One of the first things they do is go and get them riches, man. Get them artifacts.
Spoils
You know, it is said that Queen Elizabeth was sitting on the throne that belonged to David. You know, I mean, how true it is. I mean, you know, but it doesn't surprise me that these artifacts have been held on to throughout the years, man. Go ahead.
It says the foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even though it says even thou wasn't as one of them.
Go ahead.
It says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. It says, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. It says, thou should have not entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. It says, yea, though shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
Right, and there's plenty of scriptures and there's plenty of proof positives that show that these things have happened to the children of Israel by the hand of Esau. You know, one time we came together with Esau is when our father died. You know, there was a moment of truce, if you will. All right, there was a moment of truce, but when that truce was up, Esau was out for blood, man. It has been ever since. They said there's a perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel, man.
I got one more there real quick. Go
ahead.
Some Psalm 137 verse 7.
Go ahead, read it.
He says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, where is it, even to the foundation thereof.
So if you look at it, they would have to attribute most of these things to Hitler, if you will, because as it stands, Hitler was the only one that has done such atrocities to the so-called Jewish people, right? But Hitler was an Edomite himself, the so-called Jew himself. Go ahead.
He says, O daughter of Babylon, ought to be destroyed.
That's America. America, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Edom is in control of Babylon right now. And it's going to be destroyed in these upcoming years, man. Lord willing, it's this year.
I hope so.
Go ahead.
Happy shall it be that we rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Right. How'd you serve us? Slavery, rape, rob? Go ahead.
He says, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little one against the stone.
Right, and we're going to do the same exact thing to your little ones as you've done unto our little ones. And people get all bent up out of shape when we say we're going to take and bash their little ones against the stones. The scripture said it, man. The Lord said it. And we're going to perform it, man. I mean, no one had a problem with you. Crackers didn't have a problem with it when it was our people getting smashed and killed and put to death. Nobody had a problem with it. One cracker said it was for the greater good of the what do you say? It was for the greater good of the advancement of America.
Oh man.
You see? So you had no problem with it. Or it's going to be for the greater good for the advancement of the uprising of the children of Israel. How about that? For all you non-believers, you're going to see real soon, man. Go ahead.
He said, Amos chapter 1 verse 11. He said, thus says the Lord.
Hold on, brother. Let me spread it out a little bit. That's all right. Now, we're going to come back to that. Go ahead.
Isaiah 47 verse 6. I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance, and gave them to thine hands. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very late heavy with thy yoke.
And it just stands and holds true to this very day. The so-called white man showed no goddamn mercy to the so-called Native American, to the so-called black man, or to the so-called Puerto Rican, man. That stands true to this very day. The Chinese people and all these other heathens, they didn't do as wickedly unto Israel as the so-called white man has done, man. So that's another indicator how we understand and know that Esau's well and alive and kicking, man. Got a pulse on the whole shit today. He up on 2 feet, creating all kinds of wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth, stirring up shit. All right, let's roll.
Verse 7, and thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay this thing to thine heart. Neither did this remember the latter end of.
I should be a lady forever. Yeah. And that's another thing America thinks, that they're so damn delicate. They think they're so prominent. They think they're so, so graceful. They're wicked, man. You know, they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. They're forked-tongued. They speak on both sides of their mouth. Their thoughts are evil as hell. Yep. Go ahead. All speaking lies. Strange from the womb. Yep.
Verse 8. Therefore, here now, thou art given to pleasure, thou dwellest carelessly, thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Which they're going to sit as a widow. All right? Because when that war comes, as is pursuant to the book of Ezra, when that war comes, you're going to be put to death, man. You're going to be put to death. And you're going to lose all types of men over in these wars. And rightfully so. You think you're going to go to these other people's country and set up shop and raise your flag up in the air? That shit ain't going to happen, man. That shit, you walking on thin ice right now. You know? You want to come up against these small little countries, but you ain't saying shit to China, you ain't saying shit to Russia. Talking all kinds of nonsense. Russia gonna blow your ass off the map, man.
You know, if I may add too real quick, Elder Vladimir Putin said this, you know, in the media, and then translate, he said that, you know, if America were to meet them in the field, they would completely decimate them.
Yeah, you know, they get all this hype and all this talk about, you know, Ukraine is in the fight, Ukraine can beat Russia and all. Listen, man, again, there's a level of smoke and mirrors that these devils have to put forward, because the appointed time is not yet. But when the Lord truly sets the appointed time, then you're gonna see, man. Anybody that's joined hand in hand with America is gonna be put to death, destroyed.
And submission that too, Elder. Now America is saying that Ukraine's winning the war, but you got people that's making video letting them know that the Ukraine is not winning the war; they're actually losing the war.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
again, it's all propaganda.
Yeah,
it's all propaganda with the news. You know. Go ahead, brother. You got something to say?
I was gonna say on TikTok, I was watching it's for making collage videos of America. They were saying like how America will win, but they use a clip from video games and movies. They put them battle music in it, like it's realistic.
Right. Again, America's in a fantasy land, man. They're in a fantasy world. They pretend it's all fantasy to them. You know, and that's how they judge their skill level by the games and video games they put out. You know, USA. That's all they got is fucking chance. But at the end of the day, America ain't got no goddamn backbone, man. Oh no. There's no backbone over here. You know, even the art of war. They just drop bombs on people now. They don't go to war. That's all right. The Lord's gonna fix their asses real nice, man.
That's right.
Come verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children, and widowhood.
How is that going to be possible? How is these things going to take place? The loss of children and widowhood. The Lord's going to put everybody to death over here, man. And as the scripture says, in one day it's going to come. 1 hour. So all these things that are being spoken of through the scriptures are going to stand true, man. And there's not going to be anybody to turn it back or to change it. You know, you got people that have come up and asked us, well, you know, what if we do it this way? What if we do it that way? No, it's not going to go that way, man. Just listen to what the scriptures are saying. Listen to what the prophets are breaking, how the prophets are breaking it down, and understand. So you better go, you know, do what you got to do, have your fun or whatever, because it's going to end real soon, man.
Just like ancient Babylon that said that the writing was on the wall.
That's right. Right. That's it. Take right. Yep. And the writing is on the wall. And we posting it, man. We're publishing it. We're publishing the word. As the scripture says, and the word was published. And here it is, man. You don't have to believe us because we're a group of black men, you know, uneducated, no jobs, and you know, we may be racist, you call us rapists, racist. You don't have to believe anything we say. But one thing's for sure, people are listening. You're listening. You people people are listening to what's happening.
That's right.
And keep in mind, if you think this bank thing is just a spoof that one or two banks say, they have problems, it's just gonna be a goddamn windfall. It's gonna be a domino effect, man. Get your money out the. You want some advice? Get your money out the banks right now. Get it while you can. Because you watch, you're gonna sit there and get comfortable. Think, I'm not worried about it, because Esau's telling these people that their money is insured. Yeah, the money is insured if it's one or two institutions that are happening that go down. But when it's a goddamn grand scale, they're gonna be like, yeah, unfortunately, we didn't anticipate this, so you out of luck, man. And then you're gonna see dead bodies out in front of the banks.
Yeah, but there's a reason why they keep comparing it to the Great Depression, because once that whole banking thing happened, there wasn't even enough soup for our people to get our food banks and stuff.
Over in Germany, they were burning piles of money, man, and keeping the firewood, burning the money, man. Again, it's all gonna be useless around here.
And they talking about Russia cyber attacks, so you already know what that means.
Right.
So when it does wipe out, they're gonna blame it on Russia.
Right. But you know what though? They're gonna shut this whole cyber shit down anyway. They're gonna shut this internet shit right down, man. You know, it's gonna happen. They're gonna have to shut it down because too much information is being let out, man.
And the last thing, if I may mention, with TikTok, coming to find out now that it has to do with the shares. So the shareholders of TikTok, they want them to show their shares to U.S. stockholders so that they can control the content. So it never had nothing to do with Chinese spying on us. It's the fact that they don't have control of the information that's being put out there.
There's a lot of shit going on, man. There's a lot of moving parts going on right now. That's why it's imperative that you people take heed to what's going on, what's being said, and all the things that are being done right now. It's imperative. All right, go ahead.
I got Ecclesiasticus.
I still want that too, though.
I got Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
That's right.
And put not off from day to day.
That's right.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
That's right.
And in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
Right. Just when you think just when you think you're comfortable. You know there was that movie Purge, right? Purge. They had the safe houses. They had the dude was the inventor of, you know, fortifying your house, so to say. The windows, the bars come down, this, that, and the third. But you become a prisoner in your own home, man. You become a prisoner in your own home. So just when you think you're gonna be safe in your own dwelling, then the Lord's gonna come down and make some shit happen, man. There's always gonna be a way. There's always gonna be a way for a nigga to get in your shit, man. You know, I'm telling you, man. There's gonna be no stopping people. When somebody got it set in their mind, their heart to get something, they're gonna get it, man.
You know what?
They ain't coming in there to take your goddamn safe box. They coming there to get your family, man.
Exactly.
They coming there to ravish your family. You know? Go ahead, bro.
No, this is Luke 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do, I will pull down my barn and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Right, now this is another facet of being safe in your securities, in your goods, and in your belongings, and your possessions. What Creflo Dollar said, you gotta love your Lord with your goods and your possessions, your stuff. You know? Go ahead, love the Lord with your stuff.
That's not what it means. That's not what it is.
You gotta love the Lord with your stuff. What the fuck does that mean, man? Love the Lord with your stuff. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 19.
Yeah, so who's that other nigga name? That nigga Shalaki, but it was money. Oh yeah. They was in joy. They was in jubilee because why? They was receiving all that money. It was money. Some of this money. He said, "I'm gonna anoint you with this." Yeah, man. But they make a mockery of it. They make a mockery of it. But the people are so goddamn blind, they don't even see it. Yeah. They don't even. If I was in there, I'm like, well, hold on, wait a minute. These niggas up here moonwalking and sliding and gliding on a whole bunch of cash. Meanwhile, I'm going home empty-handed. You know? But all that's gonna be done away with, man. This system is imploding on itself right as we speak, man. The banking system is there, in each one of these banks and these CEOs, they're leaving. They're shutting their doors. But you don't think they've already prepared for this? They've already prepared for this. And now you got Congress talking about, these big banks, they should give back the bonuses that they receive. Ain't nobody giving a goddamn thing back, man. It's too late for all that. Go ahead, brother, finish off.
Verse 19. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thy ease, eat, drink, and be merry.
Yep.
But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
That's right.
Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided?
Right. So what's going to happen when the Lord comes down and takes you, man? You sitting there planning, building bonds and building bigger. You going out into the yard looking up like, yeah, you know what? Put that over there. Put that there. And your Lord's coming to get your ass, man. That's why the scriptures say, man, use this word, but don't abuse it. And that's the difference between, us brothers in this truth and those people in the world. Those people in the world have become such accustomed to using this world to the point where they have no other choice, man. But we have been instructed to use the word, but don't abuse it. Just use it great. You know what? You get a little bit here, get a little bit there, and you keep it pushing. Don't ground yourself and leave yourself in a position of you have no other choice but to rely on this country, man. That's the difference, man. Use the word, but don't abuse it. When you find yourself, buying and digging in real deep, first of all, we're all stuck here in America. We're all stuck here. And what I mean by that is, we're not looking to jump on a boat to go somewhere. We can't afford to go no goddamn where. And on top of that, you have obligations here. You may have your family here. You may have, your means of feeding your family or providing for your family. So where you gonna go? You ain't going nowhere. But we trust in Yahweh Shemiah Shai. As like I said, and he commanded us, use this word, but don't abuse it. Give us this day our daily bread. You see? And this is how we operate with one another. But you people out there in the world, when this fucking thing collapses and everything implodes on itself, we're gonna be screaming and crying like, no, we're gonna be crying, man. There's gonna be a lot of people. What happened? Why? What's going on? Yep. Oh my God. Let the Section 8, let the food stamps, let all that shit go down, man. Let all that shit go down. Then you're gonna see all these individuals, men and women. Everybody's on food stamps around here. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you've trusted so much into this system, you have no other way out or no other means. So when this system falls, you are going to fall.
Zero faith.
Zero faith. When the system falls, you will fall.
In fact,
and that's the truth, man. There's no other way to look at that, because this system is what's holding you up right now. The scripture says, love not the world, nor the things that are in the world. You've become so accustomed to leaning on Esau and trusting in your enemy that when he pulls the plug from out of the wall, then you're gonna be stuck, man. And will the Lord then hear your voice at that time? Chances are probably slim, because you are listening to the word of the Lord right now. Go ahead.
You said that they're gonna call him early, but he ain't gonna answer.
That's right. Yep. They shall call upon me, but I will not answer. We only telling you what you need to know, man. And for you women out there who believe and truly trust in Yahweh Shemiah Shai, may he protect you. But for you men and women who talk shit and walk about like, I'm high value and all this high value bullshit, America has no value. So how the hell are you high value? There's no value in this place, man. High value, this high value, the hell out of here with that bullshit. America is useless, man. There's zero value in America. All right, so where we at now?
I got an article.
All right, let's go.
All right, this is from NBCnews.com.
NBC News, right?
It says nuclear power plant leaks 400,000 gallons of radioactive water.
Where's this at?
In Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It says Minnesota. This was posted March 17th, 2022. Minnesota regulators say Thursday they are monitoring the cleanup of a leak of 400,000 gallons of radioactive water from Xcel Energy Monticello nuclear power plant.
Hold it right there. So you had Ohio train crash that polluted the water, contaminated the air, big plume of smoke. Now you got this one here, a nuclear power plant seeping nuclear, chemicals into the water stream. What more do you people need, man?
There was another one with leaking diesel.
South Carolina.
What more do you people need, man? How much more? before. See, that's the thing. People don't take heed until it affects their neighborhood. When it starts affecting your neighborhood, then your ears go up. Like, you know, when the dog ears go up, and oh shit, they're alert. And then your ears go up. Now you won't be like, well, what are we gonna do? This is unacceptable. What's Congress gonna do? All right. Go ahead.
Remember that train room in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
So they saying, remember that 15-minute smart city? Now they talking about they want Cleveland, Ohio, to be the first 15-minute smart city, which is so funny because that happened right after the they basically telling people to move from that area and move over here. Right. They trying to get everybody into one spot.
place. One place. Yep.
Because they said once the land's contaminated,
yeah,
the government can take over.
Seize over the land. Yep. Telling you, man, you people think it's a joke, man. You think it's a joke. You think we be out here in the freezing cold and talking shit for no Esau, man. That's a real devil, man.
And that's what you won't hear.
That's right. That's right. You gonna hear from this, right? Esau way over there, somebody getting slaughtered way over there in the distance. No, not to go over there. That's right. Man, people gonna be screaming and hollering.
If I may add to show you how it's planned, the Lord put the spirit on a dude on TikTok to where the derailment in Virginia, he actually showed the railway and he showed how it's deteriorating, and he said, I guarantee this is going to be the next one, and it was in a week. That's exactly where the train crashed, because it went into the into the water source.
I'm telling you, listen. These devils ain't afraid to shut this bitch down. They already did it when that COVID shit hit, man. They'll shut this bitch down in a heartbeat. But people don't believe it though. They don't believe it. They'll shut this bitch down in a heartbeat. You look at the sports. Look at the NBA, the baseball, the football. They generate billions of fucking dollars, man.
Shut that shit.
And they shut that shit right down. So they ain't afraid to shut it down to get control of the masses of the people, man. They're not afraid to obliterate cities and to contaminate cities. Look at what's that over in Russia there? Chernobyl. Look at Chernobyl over there, man. They shut that whole shit is a wasteland over there. You think it's foreign? You think it's foreign thought to have that here happen in America? It's gonna happen, man. With all these fucking polluted water systems and streams, it's gonna happen. Go ahead.
It says Excel Energy Monticello nuclear power plant. The company said there's no danger to the public. Excel Energy took swift action to contain the leak to the plant site. It posed no health and safety risk to the local communities or the environment.
It's bullshit. Right. Bullshit. You can get a fucking car driving by with a fucking bad exhaust system and be all kinds of fucking smoke. You be like, God damn, it smell like gas and all kinds of shit, man. You mean to tell me some nuclear shit leaking into the system? Some fucking chemicals released up into the air is not gonna be harmful to the people? That's bullshit, man. That's pure bullshit. They're spraying barium oxide. As the old saying goes, what goes up must come down. So that barium oxide comes down to the ground that they're spraying up there. You don't think that's affecting the people? Of course it's affecting the people, man.
The Ohio River and from Minnesota to the Mississippi River, that's all being tainted.
That's your neck of the woods, Ohio, right?
Yeah.
That's your neck of the woods.
That's all being tainted right now.
Of
so
course.
All that stuff is going into the Mississippi River. That's equivalent to the Nile River over there in the Middle East. Because when that gets tainted, that means all the food system is going to be destroyed, all the water system is going to be destroyed.
The fish,
the fish, all that.
And they're gonna have a heavy restriction on water. It's gonna be a heavy restriction on water. Man, go ahead, brother.
In farmland, the food that is grown on that land, you're not gonna be able to eat it. Because that's where those waterways they run through farmland. They use them as irrigation systems.
Crop. Farmers gotta water their crops and all this shit. This shit is over, man. This shit is about over.
We didn't have food from the pandemic. We definitely getting ready not to have food.
That's right. That's right.
All the tainted water.
Yep. The animals and shit, the crops and man, it's over. Go ahead, bro. You gotta bring this out real quick. Go ahead. Okay. You're gonna get him next.
2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
That's right. We are not ignorant of his devices. The Lord has put the spirit on us to be circumspect. The Lord has put the spirit on us to watch and pray to see what's going on. You see? And again, the prophets are telling you, man, we're giving you warning. The Lord said that. Give them warning from me. The Lord is orchestrating all of these things, man. But he's using Esau Edom to be that catalyst to get this thing popping. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 4:16. It says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity.
You see that? So the time is coming, man. People better realize and understand what's going on around here. As we read earlier, be circumspect. Understand what you're involved in, understand what's happening, because it's going to be a matter of time before you realize, and it's too late. So it's going to be too late to take action, right?
I can have one more thing, because this is such a wasteful nation. When you think about all the stuff that people waste, water bottles, they need a little bit of water, and
Dump that
like,
shit right out. You know them days gonna come where you gonna sit there and think back about that half bottle of water you had sitting there.
Yeah, man, and I'm guilty of that.
Like, why did I do that? You know, when I used to work at this place called Roach Brothers, man, the prepared foods. Dude, cats got fired for taking shit home that they was throwing out. They got fired. I said to myself, how is this even possible? Here you are, you got a whole smorgasbord full of food, and you got the dudes come with the barrels that are on the wheels. You got the wheels that roll up and just take the shit, start emptying the shit to the bucket. And one dude took some wings and a couple other things. It was like, yeah, you out of here, my man. I didn't know. Too late. That day's coming. You got something?
Yeah, Ezekiel 5:16. When I shall send upon them the evil hell of famine, we shall be for the destruction, and we shall send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread.
That's right. Yep.
Also, that's how it's gonna the price of the food is gonna shoot up even higher.
Yep.
Hyperinflation, because the scarcity of so everything else is gonna be tainted. So whatever is left over, let's believe, it's gonna be to the highest price.
And there's not going to be much left over, because these stores are going to be empty, man. The store shelves are going to be empty. They show you that in these movies. We tell you this all the time. It's just going to be empty, man. Anybody trying to go into the store late, you get there late, shit. You might as well forget it, man. And that's when the irrational thought is going to come. I got to go get a nigga shit. I got to go steal something from somebody. You see a lady walk with 2 bags, you're like, ugh, snatch your shit and haul ass, man.
Even during the pandemic, they had a number amount of how many people can enter.
Right. Yep. I know it stood down where I live. I think it was like 170 something at one time. So you had to wait till they go in, and every time somebody come out, then they let you go in.
No more.
Man, what's gonna happen between the bank saying we have no more money and the food store saying we have no more food? What you gonna do, man? That's why the scripture says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, I go right to the point, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread.
Here it is.
For great tribulation.
Because of the lack of bread. What does that mean, the lack of bread? Meaning the lack of food. The lack of resources that you may need to sustain yourself. These things are going to come to a bare minimum until they come to naught. And then when they come to naught, you're going to have to go take it from somebody. You're going to have to ravage somebody's house. You're going to have to take somebody out. Go ahead.
Lamentations 4 verse 9.
Right.
They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Right. And there's going to be a lot of hungry people, man. The Lord talked about famine. We coming upon those days where famine is going to be real, man. It's going to be a real live issue. Go ahead.
For these pine away, stricken through the want of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children.
That's right.
They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people.
What does that mean, to sodden your own children? Oil and cook your own children. Yep. These things are what's on the horizon, man. Go ahead, brother.
Well, now I was going to add, because Taziaf always goes into the carbon footprint. There isn't even going to be enough to share, because once you get your serving, man, that's it. And similar was in Venezuela. We always bring that up. They had the biometric system to where they would only let you get with so much out the grocery store. And then even with the book of the Famine of Mario, when you look at how much the donkey's head cost, there ain't no meat on that, but that was a form of hyperinflation.
Right.
What was it, 40?
Birds and donkeys.
Oh, and they just pumped in another $2 trillion to help out the banks. Which you already know when hyperinflation happened, that helps out the bankers. But if the poor gets poor because the prices go up.
Until the poor decide to take matters into their own hands, as the scripture says, their actions shall stand in their course. They're gonna take matters in their own hands when these things come. But again, this is a real live active thing that we're going to be witnessing, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, in the back you had Sri Lanka. You had what happened the thing where they were going up in the stores taking shit. They were going up to the politicians' houses, all up in their kitchen, all of that. Yeah, so yeah.
What do you think these elites are doing, man? They're not hanging in their neighborhoods because with the means of access to information in this country, you can find out where any and everybody lives. You think these devils are gonna sit there in their little homes on the hill? They're gone, man. They're gone.
And everybody got one of these.
Yeah, they're gone. Ain't nobody gonna be waiting around to have their door bust down. They have a mob of people looking to drag them out and beat them in the street. They did that to Mussolini and his wife. Went down there and dragged them out and beat them in the street, pretty much. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 36:6. He says, "Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him."
Right, and if you're trusted in this place, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, man. And our people have trusted in America so much, man. They believe this American way. They believe in the American system. But what they don't believe is the men of the Lord that are on the highways and byways telling you this place is polluted, man. And it's going to destroy you. This place is ultimately going to destroy you, man.
Even the so-called woke people like Dr. Umar, like he knows that the white man's the devil, but he's still trying to talk about building here, building schools and things like that.
I mean, what do you want to teach them? What do you want? You can build all kinds of black schools, black this and black that, but it's only going to be funded for so long, man. What are you going to teach them? What can you possibly teach a young black youth in America today? The minute you go against the grain, or you can say, okay, white cops are prejudiced towards black people, your school's getting shut down. Your shit's getting shut down, right? You mentioned one thing about the so-called white man and his structure and his system, you out of here, man.
Well, they talk about the black dollars, yet they all got white faces on them.
Right. What scripture is this? Jesus. Go ahead.
Isaiah 10 verse 20. It shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, in such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but stay upon the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, the Holy One of Israel.
Right. We are the hopeful elect are now staying upon Yahweh Shemashai. We're not putting our trust in these devils. We ain't putting not 1 ounce of confidence in this system, in this man. Not 1 ounce. We got zero confidence that this devil's gonna be for us when all hell breaks loose, man. He ain't coming to help you. He's not seeking to help you. He's seeking to destroy you with a sword of destruction. Go ahead.
I got Psalms 118 verse 8 and 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in men.
That's right.
It's better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes.
That's right. So we trust in the Lord all the way around. We don't give a goddamn what black man takes office or what so-called black man is gonna come and try to, quarrel and settle the people down, man. It don't matter. If you ain't coming talking about Yahweh Shai coming back to destroy this place, he's about to create havoc. If you ain't talking that kind of talk, we don't want nothing to do with you, man. We got nothing in common. We got nothing in common for the ways of this world, man. And that's why a lot of people can't get down with what we're telling them. Because our views aren't the same views. Our fight is not your fight. You want to fight the government, you want to fight the system, I mean, go right ahead. You're going to lose. What makes you think you're going to just roll over, lay down, and let you take over? That's not going to happen, man. Go ahead.
Proverbs 2 verse 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
Right.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
Right.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
Right. And the key thing out of that is the Lord's going to direct your path, man. He's going to direct your path. So fear not and worry not when the time of trouble is at hand, man. The Lord's going to put the spirit on you to move a certain way, to do a certain thing, to put yourself in a certain position, we ain't worried about anything. And if we get apprehended, the Lord said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what you shall speak. Because the Lord's going to give you a mouth to speak in that time and that hour.
Yeah.
So we ain't worried about any of these things that are going on. But we're blessed because we now see. And the times and the things that we're now seeing are very, very exciting, man. This is exciting. Hearing these power plants leaking shit, water getting all contaminated, the food stores and the truckers are gonna be shutting down pretty soon. This is very exciting times right now. You know, 15 years ago when we was reading it and speaking it, we still had the spirit for it, but we have it more. It's burning more so now because we're getting closer, man. We're getting closer and closer. Go ahead.
Matthew 13 and 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see,
right,
and your ears, for they hear.
Right.
For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them,
right,
and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Right. That's right. You know, and we're blessed because now we see these things and we understand these things, as opposed to the prophets of old, which we wrote these things down and didn't understand them, man. We meditated on them, we thought about them, but it just wasn't at the appropriate time for us to receive it. Now the books are open, all right? Now the things are revealed unto us. We know that the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's right. Which is one of the most important ingredients to this whole recipe that the Lord has set up, man. Knowing that the so-called white man is a man known as Esau Edom in the Bible, right? So be ready and be prepared. Give me Revelation 12 and 12.
Revelation 12 and 12.
I got you. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Yep.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know it, that he have but a short time.
How important is that to know, man? How important is it to know who the devil is? If you don't know who the devil is, you can't understand who's going to come down upon you, man. Right. So it's important that you know who the devil is. And who is the devil? Who is the deceiver of the whole world? Who's the master manipulator? Esau Edom, man. Esau Edom is that man. He's the man. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Who's going to do that? Moab going to come over here and do it? The Chinese man's going to come over here and do it? Nope. Who's going to do it? The so-called Hamite, he's going to come over here and do it? He's going to start making an insurrection against the men of the Lord? The spear. Esau Edom going to do it, man. Esau's going to do that, man. Read that again.
For there shall be in every place and in the next cities great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
You see that? There's going to be great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. This is another thing. A lot of people don't want to put their necks out on the line for the Lord because they don't want that smoke that's coming, man. There's some heavy times coming, man. You're going to have people denying the Lord. You're going to have people denying that they were Israelite. A lot of men, they want to play it safe. Talking about we accept all denominations. We all can be Israel. No, man, no. And the funny thing is, these devils know who you are, man. Regardless of what you believe or what you say, they know exactly who you are. Just by means of where you live, where your families have lived throughout the years. They know they've lived with you. And you niggas who moved up into the hills, moving on up, as they say, you don't think you're gonna be the first ones to get got? Of course. They're gonna roll right up in there and get you on out of there, man. Being in these prestigious neighborhoods.
Con, it says, for they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
See that? They should be like madmen, sparing none. So it doesn't matter if you're out here on the highways and byways preaching the word. It would have been better for you to be out here on the highways and byways preaching the word. Therefore, you know at least you have an arm of protection that's going to help you. Than to be out there in the world talking shit, having no protection. Because it doesn't matter if you're here or not, they're still going to come after you. Just because who you identify as. And that's why a lot of you other tribes, you got the complexion for the protection, if you will. You know, you may be light skinned or whatever, you don't identify as an Israelite. But you don't think these devils don't know who you are? And to us. We have done nothing. We've done nothing to you. And then they may, at that point, let you know, because you're an Israelite. That's why.
Exactly.
Huh?
Elder man, you always have that saying when the rubber meets the road.
That's right.
Especially with the MOTB, because it says they shall for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. And to read on, it says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, save the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Lord is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, save the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves."
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. You know, for all you out there who truly believe in this thing of ours, man, stand fast, hold fast, man, and wait upon the Lord. He's not going to let us down, man. He's not going to let us down. And you may catch flack because you tell your family members, you're Israelite, and you know that your nationality is Hebrew Israelite. Your family may catch all kinds of flack, but don't worry about your family, man. Worry about what the Lord is going to do when He comes back to destroy people, man. You don't want to be a part of that destruction. You don't want to die with Esau, Edom, and any other 2/3 that are going to be put to death over here. Go ahead.
Proverbs 23, 17 and 18.
Hold on. And he also said, this devil's going to take you from your house, man. Rip you out of your houses. There's going to be a certain level of communication amongst these devils. They're going to tell themselves, yeah, all right, here's the move. You know, because there was a dude that I know who was in the army a while back. And he had gave me information, but he had told me, like, they have briefings, man. And these briefings, you know, some of the shit that be telling them in the briefings, like, yo, this is America, dude. Like, this is America, you know. But they're all under orders, man. It don't matter where they are. Once you sign your name on that dotted line, you are to follow orders, and that's it. They ain't gonna sit there and debate with you and have a conference with you and bring you to the fucking general's office and you tell the general, hey general, I don't think we should do that. No. It's none of that democracy shit. You are a soldier, you are taking orders. And if your order is to go in the neighborhood and on a Humvee with a 50 cal and wipe out everybody that got a red X on their sidewalk or a red dot on their door, you wipe any and everybody out, that's what you're gonna do, man.
That's why they got the foreign troops over here.
Of course.
They don't got
UN
no
troops?
Locations to nobody
Absolutely
here.
not. Absolutely. Them UN troops been there for a long time. Training, getting the lay of the land, if you will. Certain locations, certain neighborhoods, certain places where Jake dwells, man. They gonna run up in there and just put you to death and not think twice about it, man. Put you to death and go through your pockets a little bit, you know, look you, see what you got around, and then talk and kick you over to the side, man. Be ready. Go ahead.
Proverbs 23.
Hold on, sorry, brother.
There was a video, I believe, at Georgetown University. There was a meeting with new soldiers, people that was coming on. And they said, yeah, some of you guys are going to get sent overseas, but a lot of you guys are going to remain back here.
Right.
You know, in America.
Right.
So you know something is
right.
going on.
Because what is it in their creed? In foreign and domestic. So if they say foreign and domestic, that means what? That there's gonna be troops are gonna have to stay here to handle this shit at home, man.
Proverbs 23 and 17 and 18. It said, let not your heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. For surely there is an end, and your expectation shall not be cut off.
That's right. Surely there is an end. There's an end to all things. There's gonna be an end to Esau, Edom. There's gonna be an end to our suffering over here in Babylon the Great, dealing with this bullshit on a weekly basis. There's gonna be an end of Esau, thinking he is the Most High. Go ahead.
Scripture says better is the end of a thing.
That's right. That's right. So we're patiently waiting on the Lord, man. We ain't trying to, tell hey brothers, all right, we're gonna get together next week. We're gonna go and jump up and bust down the state house door and go in there and ask for our reparations and ask for our 40 acre and a mule. It ain't going down like that, man. Let the state house be right where it is, because the time is gonna come when the Lord's gonna send the hooligans out there to do all that dirty work, man. But we as men of the Lord, we're gonna be safe and secure, Lord willing, man. And out of harm's way. Lord ain't gonna put us in the middle of all that bullshit. You can best believe this quad right here, where we're standing right here, this place is gonna be filled with people at one point, man. When all the uprisings start going down, let a nigga get killed, let someone get killed in a fashion where it's distasteful to the people. First thing they're gonna do is they're gonna come right here to the State House. We demand answers. We want this and we want that. And all the people, the cameras are gonna come, and then what? More people are gonna flock down here, and then Esau is gonna open up.
Yep.
The military is gonna open up. Yep, that's what's gonna happen.
The movie Bushwick. Towards the end, that's when they have a lot of people running into that field and they're just getting gunned down.
Well, they, like we say, they put this shit in these movies for a reason. And if you ain't smart enough to read between the lines, there was this video I saw. This Jake was in the store yelling at this Mexican chick behind the counter. He's going berserk. Fuck you know how to speak English, bitch. Give my money, bitch. Give my. He going berserk, right? And there was this other Mexican dude off to the side saying, "Hey, brother, calm down. Calm down, calm down." I was like, "Yo, fuck you. You know how to speak English." And the dude was like, "Nah, just calm down." He goes, "Want to go outside?" Mexican cat was like, "You want to go outside?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's go out here. Let's go out here." This car went out there, turned around. Bow, bow! Nigga ran like a little bitch right back in the store. Where's all that talk at? Where's all that tough guy shit? Out the window. Because the nigga brought the equalizer out, right? And you can see, there's a car in the store up and down the aisles like this, looking for the nigga. This nigga's back here, he shot me! But again, you know, you underestimate somebody, man, and you just never know. You just never know, man. You just never know. Sit back, my cat back there reaching. What you reaching for, brother? All right, let's run it.
Revelation 2 verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Right, fear none of those things which y'all shall suffer. We're going to suffer some things, man. You know, and we don't know what the Lord has in store for any of us. But we hope and pray that whatever chastisement He gives us, we can bear it. Because we're gonna be tested, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through the fire, man. Go ahead.
It says on Revelation 2 verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right, be thou faithful unto death, man. And at this point, the way, and I'm speaking for myself, you know, I'm speaking as a man. At this point, the way I'm feeling, man, I'm just whatever happens, man. We ain't afraid to die over here, man. You know, a lot of people are trying to preserve their life just because they don't want to miss out on living here in Babylon. We serving to the Lord, man. Let the Lord's will be done. You know? And if we get put to death on this side, may y'all shine, raise us up at the first, man. You know? But we're gonna keep on pushing. So be faithful unto death, man. And who knows? Right when them devils about to take you out, the Lord may deliver you. Right. You know? Right when you think it's over, man. Pray to the Lord, He might deliver you right out the hand of them devils, man. That's why I said, be thou faithful unto death. Go ahead.
Matthew 10 verse 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it.
Right. He that findeth his life shall lose it. You see? Go ahead.
And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
Right. When you come into the truth, you lose all this shit, man. You lose everything. You know, you're not that popular guy no more. You know, you ain't that handsome dude that used to attract all the ladies. You grow your beard out, you know, and you look at motherfuckers differently. You know, you ain't that high valued male anymore. You come into the truth, right? You know. But again, we have found our life because we found the truth. And we thank Yahweh Shemiah Shai for bringing us back to the fold, man. You know, as those lost sheep that were running amok, now we've been brought back into the stable. All right, and now we see clearly, and we seek safety and security through the spirit of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man. That's what we hope and pray for. That the Lord keeps on protecting us in these last days. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go to the comment board.
Come.
I'm a couple. This is Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
That's right. That's right. And we say that, man. We lay it on the Lord, man. We ain't gonna be doing much talking in that time. When the Lord starts doing this thing, we ain't gonna be doing much talking. Shit, we may not even be like, yo, we told you so. Right. Because shit's gonna be so goddamn crazy and hectic. We might as well be like, yo, that's the Lord right there. I ain't speaking on that. The Lord's gonna, do His thing. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation 3:10 from a comment board. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Right. And when that time comes, man, a lot of people are going to take that thing because they're going to be faced with what? A situation where they have no choice. Because they're going to want to feed their children. they're gonna want to preserve their jobs. The same thing that happened with this whole C-19. When the C-19 came out, it was putting the screws to everybody. You ain't gonna be able to work here no more. If you ain't get this, you ain't got no mask on. You ain't coming to the establishment. And people said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it because I gotta go to work. I gotta get the food. I gotta put the money on the food on the table." Okay, so when they come out with the MOTB, man, the Lord said He's gonna keep us from the hour of temptation. We praise you, Lord Yahweh Shai, that He keeps us from that hour, man, because it's gonna sweep across the whole world. Ain't nobody gonna be exempt from it. Nobody. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus 2 and I'm gonna do 10 and read down. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abound in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
See that? That's a whole lot there, but a lot of it is beautiful because why? You know, trusting in the Lord is all we got, man. Trusting in the Lord is all we got over here. We can't look. I mean, we can't even save ourselves, man. We can't even save ourselves as much as we love this brotherhood and the brothers throughout the world who are doing this thing in truth and sincerity. We can't save each other. But what we can do is build up one another and keep one another in our prayers and hope that Yahweh Shai looks at all of us and hears all of our cries and our prayers and saves us and delivers us, man. This is the key things of what's going on around here. Waiting and trusting in Yahweh Shai. Woe unto them that have lost patience. Many men have lost patience in this thing because things didn't happen fast enough. Going back to 2000, okay? There were certain men that did not lose their patience. A lot of men have lost patience during the 2000 reign and just walked out the door and turned their back. Things weren't even hot and heavy then. You see? So we out here being patient. And who knows, man? We don't know. We don't know the time. We don't know the date. But we got to be patient and wait on the Lord, man. We got to wait on the Lord. Just like you want somebody to wait for you. You up in the crib, you know, getting your shit together, and they down there blowing the horn, but you still got to get your shit. You're like, yo, hold up, man. I'm right out. You want them to wait on you, right? You know, you want them to wait on you. So we waiting on you. We gonna wait upon Yahweh Shai because it's when it's appointed with his time. When the Lord, the Heavenly Father, wants his time to be done. All right. So where we at? Let me come right here.
Matthew 24:45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he shall come, find him doing so.
That's right. Find so doing. Yep.
Verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and eat and drunken with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and point him in a portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yep. That's going to happen to a lot of people, man. A lot of people going to think they holier than thou and do things according to their will. But the Lord's going to point you to that destruction, weeping and gnashing of teeth. You see, that's why you got to be very careful when you're handling the word of the Lord, man. You got to be very careful. You know, the scriptures tell you that. Woe unto he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. You see, the Lord will definitely appoint your lot to the hypocrites to be destroyed, man. So when you come out and you do the work, you got to be sincere, man. You truly got to be sincere. You know, and not try to mislead people or give people wrong information purposely. You know, you got men out there talking about you don't have to know the name of the Lord. So this cat pulled me aside this morning, right? And it's one of the local dudes. He be coming around, you know, kind of give him a little air, you know, a little bit. But he said to me he was on the train and he was doing the Lord's work. So he came across, there was a situation. He asked the dude if he had the Lord in his heart. And the dude said, yeah, I got the Lord in my heart. And he said, I said to the dude, what was the Lord's name? He said he didn't know. He goes, well, if you don't know the Lord's name, then you don't have the Lord in your heart. Something to that effect. Which kind of rang in my head. I was like, well, he kind of right. You know, you confess that you know the Lord's in your heart, and you know, the Lord is your Lord and your personal Lord and Savior, but you don't even know his name. You know? How important it is to know the name of the Lord. Very important. How are you gonna call upon somebody you don't know his name? You see? That's why this world gotta be destroyed, man. Because the teachings of this world is the teachings of death, I'm gonna say. Everything that this world has to offer you is nothing but a platter of death, man. Walking you down the path of destruction. Go ahead.
Hosea 4 verse 1, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
You give me John 13 and 14. Yep. There's no knowledge of the Lord in this land. There's no knowledge whatsoever. You see, just by the way people view the Bible. You know, they know there's no reverence toward the Bible. Period, man. It's just a book that's written by the so-called white man, a book of fairy tales, a whole bunch of madness. Go ahead.
It's John 13 and 14. It says, if I then, your Lord and Master, have washed their feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet.
That's right. We take care of one another. We pray for one another. We watch out for one another through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're all we have, man. We say it all the time, but it stands true. We are all we have. You ain't gonna be able to go out and have a conversation about America being destroyed with anybody outside of this truth, man. They're not gonna understand you. You ain't gonna be able to go out and tell a man in the world that, yeah, you're gonna bash your enemy's children against the stones. They're gonna be like, this nigga crazy. You got to call down this nigga. This nigga done lost his mind.
It's child abuse.
You see? So this is how we also take care of one another, being able to talk to one another and understand one another, especially when the brother's down in the spirit. You ain't gonna be able to talk to nobody in the spirit, spiritually, because they're not gonna understand spiritual things, man. Naturally, man, we see a lot of things in the spirit.
One thing, there's like our people, their indoctrination is real. My friend called me Saturday, and I just wanted to test him. I said, so if your brother came to you and he became a transformer, I ain't gonna say the term.
Right.
And I was like, and he said, you know what, bro, I'm this now. And he was like, I mean, if my brother is dad, then I have to accept him as dad. And I was like, I was just mad because like this is a dude that I grew up with. We did certain things together. You know, we was in the streets together, all that. And I'm just like, huh? I expect him to be like, hell no, I'll accept him as that. You know what I'm saying? But he was just like, I mean, because there's a difference between gender and sex. See, sex is, I was just like, yeah. So that's when I realized, like, our people is just gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
even that conversation, like, you can't even.
Yeah, he's like,
you're like, yeah, all right, all right,
Go
man,
that
whatever.
way. Go that way.
Yeah, all right. You know,
I ended up having to hang up, and I was like, I ain't gonna lie, like, of course, he's in Ohio, of course, but it's like, I grew up with the dude, I knew him since 8 years old. He called me sometimes. For me to even hung up on him, that actually hurt my heart a little bit, because but I was like, I can't do that, man. It's like, he going too far with it now.
Hey, you know, like,
he went too far.
You guys aren't going to agree on anything concerning this Bible, man. You know, and he's not going to believe in the Bible. You know, so that's that. You know, you ain't going to be able to fellowship with a nigga in the world no more. I mean, if you're gonna come down and say, hey, what's going on, man? Yo, how's your moms? Everybody's good. You know, that's pretty much the extent of it. That's about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna sit there and be like, yo, what's wrong with you, bro? Hey, this so-called white man, he's always fucking poisoning all the food. This devil gotta go, man. You're like, crazy. You know, I'm like, yo, what you talking about, man? You're tripping. You know, meanwhile, you eating a hot dog, talking about, what you talking about, man? You know? But again, this brotherhood in this thing of ours is only meant for us. It ain't meant for everybody in the world. there's even men that have been a part of this thing that have left this thing, and it wasn't meant for them.
Yeah.
You know, they've returned back into the world. They went back to the worldly things, you know, and forsook the Bible and forsook the Lord. You didn't forsook the men that you was with. You forsook the Lord, man.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. People don't realize. It's not about us. You know, we still going to be subjected to hell on earth. We're going to be subjected to ridicule and all kinds of, you know, shit talking. But you didn't turn on us. You turned on the Lord. And that's the big mistake right there. Go ahead.
I got Psalms 133.
That's perfect.
It's behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
That's right.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head that run down the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirt of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descendeth upon the mountain of Zion. For there the Lord Yahweh Shemashai committed the blessing, even life forevermore.
That's right. See that? So we dwell together in brethren, man. You guys, brothers, don't realize, man, the love we have for one another. And it's beautiful because we don't get to see one another on a daily basis. When we come down, I see brothers be like, yo, that's my man right there, you know? But that's the spirit, you know? And now that the Lord has brought this particular camp together the way he brought us together, every single one of us were together back in the ancient times. That's what I believe, through the spirit. Because the connections that we have, even when this brother came, he came down from Ohio, you know? This brother was out of control when he first came here, but the Lord settled that brother's spirit down. Now the brother's, you know, he's balanced out. But again, we was always together at some point in time, man, throughout the ancient times, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. You know, we met some of the head apostles and elders and bishops out in New York. When you got around them brothers, it was like a reunion, man. It was it was like, oh, what's going on? Shalom, brother, you know? And that just goes to show you the testament of the Lord, how when he brought us back together, back to the fold, back to the stable, we all once knew this anyway, you know? So there it is, man. There it is. We've all been here before. We've all met each other before. We ain't strangers, brothers.
Back to remembrance.
That's it. Being brought back to remembrance. We ain't strangers amongst one another, you know. And the more, and then when the names, the brothers' names, you know, when brothers get your Hebrew name, it is so fitting. It is so fitting, man. It's like, damn, that brother's name is fitting, you know. And that's a blessing in itself, man. This brother Yakalom, he behind the camera, you know. That brother Zion named that brother, right? And that's a brother Yakalom, what dreamer? He dreams, you know. And that's exactly what this brother be doing, man. This brother be having all types of dreams, man. Got his journal going, and you know he'll put up his videos every now and then with the dreams. But
I have a dream. Everybody going
right. Hey, brother, get nervous. The boss said, he said, reckless, you reckless. You know, but again, you know, it's all through the spirit, man. It's all through the spirit. Y'all watch me how it's shot. You know, names, omen, name prediction. You know. Anybody got anything else? I see you over here. I see you over there tapping away over here. Good. We're gonna end it on this one here, brothers.
Ecclesiastes 3 verse 15. That which had been is now, and that used to be had already been. And the Most High required that which is past.
That's right, and the Most High required that which is past. So the past is very important. You may hear people talk about or say, "Oh, you guys are dwelling in the past. You guys that happened. How many years ago did it happen?" Well, the scripture says the Most High required that which is past. These things are important, man. The past is going to understand. You're going to understand the present by what was written aforetime. We understand that the Lord said we're going to be raised up and be out there on the highways and byways doing our thing, man. And here we are. We did it in the ancient times. Is that Jeremiah? Yep. Did it in the ancient times, and we're doing it this time. I like to say, you know, we did it in the ancient times, meaning what? We was back there walking with Yahweh Shai, you know, and going back even further to the first fruits, creating the heavens and the earth, man. Creating the heavens and the earth. You have ears to hear, let them hear. You know, we ain't boasting and bragging about it. We're servants in this kingdom. All right. right? We're servants in this kingdom. You know, and a servant is not accepted in his own. So therefore, when we come out on the highways and byways, we're not looking to be accepted by anybody out here. We're not looking for anybody to raise us up or praise us and give us, oh, great job. No, we ain't looking for any of that. We want to please Yahweh Shai. It's fucking freezing out here right now. And the only heirs we're looking to please are Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And the brothers and sisters who listen, receive it, all praises due to Yahweh Shai for giving you the ability to understand and hear these words that we speak, man. Because it's not our words that we're speaking, it's the Lord's words. You see? Anybody else got anything else?
I was gonna mention real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You mentioned about the first fruits, the creation of the earth. Those same people are back here today, the elect, that care for the earth. So that's why they're signed and crying for the abomination that was done in the midst.
That's exactly right, brother. That's it. You know, and we look around. You know, sometimes you see the fucking animals, they're suffering. Fucking trees are withered down to nothing. The earth, there's supposed to be a land Sabbath. The earth, the soil is goddamn obliterated. The soil's so fucked up, you can't even grow shit in the soil no more, man. Esau got to put all kinds of chemicals and all kinds of shit in the ground, you know. But the Lord's gonna restore all these things, man.
That's right.
The Lord's gonna restore all of us back to our natural, state, if you will. Being strong men, being mighty men, you know.
One quick comment.
Go ahead.
You know the Revelation 12 and 12?
Come.
Like, simultaneously it's saying, rejoice you heavens, the devil coming down you with great wrath, showing you that after this trouble, the world will go back to paradise.
Of course, absolutely. That's a beautiful thing. Our children will be out there playing with wild beasts of the field, like a ball of yarn, just batting them around and shit, doing whatever. But this is what it's all gonna be. But we still got a battle before us.
Yep.
We still got hell to go through. So we ain't gonna sit here and talk about the plenteous that the Lord has set aside for us, because we're gonna get sidetracked.
Yep.
Let it be known that we are right on the cusp of the time of Jacob's trouble. And that time of Jacob's trouble is not gonna be no joke, man. Can we say so that we know for a certain? Yes, we can say, because the Lord said it, man. And we believe the word of the Lord. We trust in the word of the Lord. We have faith in the word of the Lord. And all that being said, that makes us men of the Lord. You got something? Go ahead, bust it down, brother.
Acts 14, verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
That's perfect. Through much tribulation. So this ain't gonna be no walk in the park, man. We ain't gonna just, the Lord's gonna come here and throw down the missiles, and we gonna be like, just, hey, no, we fighting for this thing, man. We gotta fight, man. Through much tribulation. However that tribulation is gonna come, man. We hope and pray that the Lord just protects us in all types of whatever tribulation He has set forth for us, man. All right, you got something over there on the right, brother?
No.
Okay, you good? Yes, sir. Brother's good. All right, con. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Got a couple hours in. Get the brothers home. It's freezing out this bad boy. So with all that, we're gonna give all praises to
Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Kakadash.
Number one, so get apostles, great millstone that rule well, bishops and elders. Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, again, we hope we're finding that number to be delivered, to see the downfall of our enemies, and rejoice at the fall of all those who've come up against us. And with that, we're going to say, come Yashua! Come Yashua! Come Yashua! Come Yashua! Shalom!
Shalom, brothers.
Shalom.